Isagi began to understand Rin, and he realized what mistake he had made. Isagi began to evolve, and was able to devour Rin. Team White was not scared despite Rin's insane play. Shortly afterwards, the kickoff began, and Baro noticed that Isagi matched his movements. Then Tokimitsu marked him, and he didn't intend to lose against Baro. As a result, he stuck to Baro to prevent his goal chance. Following this, Isagi sneaked down the touchline, and Baro was shocked for being used as a decoy. Nagi told him to pass the ball, but Isagi realized that it is not possible because Rin could steal the ball. Isagi saw a route to the goal, and he shot the ball towards Chigiri. Chigiri fought Ryu in a one-on-one, and he had no intention of losing. Meanwhile, Isagi planned his next move to defeat Rin. He changed the direction he was running and created a goal chance. Unfortunately, Rin saw through him, and Isagi was shocked about it. Isagi tried to get the ball, but he understood that he needs to evolve to defeat Rin. As a result, his ego showed him the right path, and he reached the level of a soccer god. Isagi devoured his opponent, and Rin got an emotional damage after losing against Isagi. Team White was happy that Isagi scored an equalizing goal. Afterwards, he explained to his teammates that he had found the missing puzzle to devour Rin. His friends were impressed, and they were sure that no one could stop them. As a result, they planned to score the next goal and crush Rin's team. In the meantime, Bachira wondered what he needed to catch up to Isagi and Rin. Bachira was desperate, and he didn't know what he should do. Then we see Rin, and he had no intention of losing this match against Team White. A few moments later, the final kickoff began, and Baro pressed Tokimitsu. Chigiri ran to support him to steal the ball. Tokimitsu passed the ball to Rin. Unfortunately, Isagi lost the one-on-one, but Nagi managed to steal the ball. Suddenly, Ryu copied Nagi's move, and he was able to steal the ball back. Following this, they ran towards the goal, and Ryu decided to pass to Bachira. Bachira looked at his teammates, and he didn't know what his teammates expected from him. Suddenly, the ball was stolen by Chigiri, and they started a counter-attack. Nagi wondered why Bachira was acting strange. Nagi told him that if he continues to stay as he is right now, he will be left behind. Bachira knew that Nagi was right. Meanwhile, Isagi managed to team up with Baro. Isagi knew he could surprise Rin with this, and they managed to break through Team Red's defense. Everyone ran forward, and Bachira realized he was being left behind. At that moment, he realized his problem was that he was always looking for a friend to fill his loneliness. But he knew that this desire was holding him back, and he remembered his mother's words. Then his mother said that he has to listen to his inner voice, and that will help him find the solution. Suddenly, Bachira managed to break through the bonds that stopped him from evolving. Isagi was shocked because he could no longer read Bachira's movements. Because of this, Isagi passed the ball to his teammate, and he was confident that Nagi could sense his goal chance. Isagi shot at the goal, and Bachira despaired because he couldn't catch up yet. At the last moment, Rin prevented Isagi from scoring, and the ball landed to Bachira. Bachira listened to the voice inside him, and his monster showed him his path. He remembered that his monster was always by his side, and he realized that he no longer needs him. After that, he realized that the solution to his problem is to stop listening to the monster. He was grateful that he had made friends through the monster's voice, and that it led him to Isagi. At this moment, he realized that he couldn't hear his own voice. As a result, Bachira decided to ignore the monster within himself, and he devoured the monster. Bachira turned into a soccer god, and he used a wild dribbling style to defeat his opponents. Team White tried to stop him, and his teammates tried to support him. The opponents understood that Bachira became the most dangerous striker on the field. He became a true egoist that no one could stop. Afterwards, Bachira felt a feeling that he had long forgotten. He felt free and remembered his wild soccer dribbling style, which he had known since his childhood. Bachira started dribbling like a soccer god, and outplayed his opponents with ease. At that moment, he realized that he wasn't lonely, and that he was a monster himself. Bachira was unstoppable and managed to reach the goal. Shortly afterwards, he thanked the monster in him for showing him the way to this point and said goodbye. Bachira's ego woke up and he tried to score a goal, but Isagi prevented it. After Isagi blocked Bachira's shot, the ball was in the air. Suddenly the ball landed and they were shocked because Rin scored the final goal. As a result, Team Red won, and Isagi was frustrated with the result. Meanwhile, Bachira realized that he didn't need anyone but himself in soccer. But he was glad that Isagi found him, and understood that it's more fun to play with a friend. At that moment, Rin admitted that he lost against Isagi in the last play. For the first time, he felt the disgusting feeling of being crushed. That's why he wanted Isagi on his team, because he couldn't allow him to lose here. Isagi was shocked by this and wondered why he was chosen. He was still frustrated because he couldn't defeat Rin. Then Team Red went to the next selection, and Isagi followed them. Suddenly he looked back at his old team and apologized to his comrades. They didn't want to be pitied, and Shigiri told them to go to the next selection. They knew that Isagi deserved to be chosen because he became Team Red's strongest striker. At that moment, Isagi understood that he doesn't have to apologize. He was grateful to have fought by their side and was sure that they would meet again. Meanwhile, Tokimitsu greeted Isagi, and he said that he would have chosen him too. Afterwards, he welcomed Isagi to their team, and Aryu tried to steal the show. A few moments later, Bachira talked to his friend, and he thanked Isagi for finding him. He said that until today, he was afraid to play soccer alone. Because of this match, he realized that he doesn't need another person to play soccer. But playing with a strong teammate like Isagi was more fun for him. Then Isagi thought that Bachira had matured, but he was wrong, and learned that he is still the same. Shortly afterwards, Isagi asked Rin what he was lacking that he needed in order to become the top striker. Rin replied that he needed luck, but Isagi wanted something more concrete. Suddenly the strikers were greeted by Jinpachi. He told them that he had a reward for them for passing the selection. After that, Jinpachi explained to Isagi what Rin meant, that a striker needs luck. They learned that luck does not exist everywhere and that it is predictable. He said that in Blue Lock, this luck can be turned into his goal formula. Then Jinpachi showed them the last scene before the final goal was scored. Jinpachi explained to Isagi that Rin could run slower at that moment while Bachira shot at the goal. But he predicted that Isagi would try to stop Bachira. Because of this, he had put himself in a good position to score a goal straight away. At that moment, they understood that luck is predictable, and they learned that an average Joe would never have been able to pull off a play as brilliant as Rin. Finally, he said that they have to learn to incorporate this luck into their goal formula in order to become the world's best striker. Isagi was shocked by this because he understood that Rin had taken advantage of this. Suddenly, Rin said that he could only win against him through luck, and in return he had to accept that he had lost to Isagi before. As a result, Isagi planned to incorporate the missing puzzle piece labeled as luck into his process. Shortly afterwards, Jinpachi congratulated them on passing the second selection, and they learned that their reward was a match against the World 5. Isagi and his comrades were surprised because they got to play against world-famous top strikers in the next matchup. Every single one of these strikers played for big clubs and were very talented. Isagi was excited and couldn't wait to play against them. Then we see Rin in the training studio, and he was stretching. Isagi wanted to join in and learned that yoga helps him relax. Shortly afterwards, Isagi asked if Rin got along with his brother, but Rin replied that he must defeat him to fix their relationship. Afterwards, Rin did a one-armed handstand, and he didn't see Isagi as his rival. Isagi didn't want to lose to him, and he also tried to do a one-armed handstand. Unfortunately, his attempt failed, and he made Rin angry. In the evening, Isagi couldn't sleep because he was excited about tomorrow's match. He went to the training room, and Bachira wanted to join him. Then he said that the monster inside him disappeared, but instead, he could hear his own voice, and became a monster himself. The next morning they faced the World 5 and Dada looked down on them. They made fun of Isagi and his comrades. Suddenly Rin spoke to them and told them to take this matchup seriously. Rin didn't like Dada's arrogant attitude and said that he will crush him. Leonardo tried to calm Rin down because he knew his brother and he was pleased to meet Rin. Then the kickoff began and Isagi played the ball to Bachira. Bachira wanted to show Pablo his dribbling skills. So marked Isagi. Isagi tried to use Loki's blind spot, but Bachira created a chemical reaction with Rin, who scored a goal. His comrades were impressed because Rin scored a goal against the World 5. After the goal, Rin complimented his teammates for playing their role as decoy perfectly. Meanwhile, Aryu and Tokimitsu were amazed by their teammates' chemical reaction. They formed a triangle, and Aryu praised Isagi for his glam moves. Then the kickoff started, and Isagi tried to steal the ball from Julian. Unfortunately, he was a god, and Isagi was shocked by his speed. He dribbled through his opponents, and no one managed to stop him. At that moment, Rin appeared, intending to defeat Julian. Suddenly Julian showed his true power, and he scored a goal with ease. Meanwhile, his teammates weren't impressed, and they wanted to have fun too. At the next restart, Adam stole the ball and he passed to Pablo. Pablo immediately found a path to the goal and planned to create a goal chance. Aryu tried to grab the ball in the air, but Dada won the one-on-one. Tokimitsu then tried to get the ball, but Adam crushed him like an insect. Isagi was shocked and realized that their opponents were in a different league. They lost every single
Ah,
match
diyelim
against the
alırız
World
maçı.
5,